Hi, my name is Vadim Minchuk and I will be your tour guide for today. Sweden is a unique Scandinavian country where you come across legends and history everywhere. The Swedes really appreciate their native history. They try to remember their own roots. Today I would like to tell you about the main city of Sweden, its capital, the beautiful city of Stockholm. There are places that show the diversity of Swedish culture and heritage. The presentation also contains photos that were taken by me and my family during a trip to Sweden. Sweden is one of the countries in the world that have retained the monarchy to this day. So welcome to the first point of our tour, one of the largest palaces in Europe, the Royal Palace, the official residence of His Majesty the King of Sweden. The current residence of the Swedish monarchs has over 600 rooms. Before the fire in the 18th century, the building was an ordinary fortress. Of course, tourists cannot see all 600 rooms of the palace, but it is possible to see the apartments of the deceased monarchs. The palace has 5 museums. Tourists can visit the reception rooms from the 18th and 19th centuries and the Hall of State with silver throne. You can also see the Museum of Antiquities, the Czech Runner Museum and the Treasury. The Royal Palace contains the armory with royal costumes and armor, as well as coronation carriages. Make sure not to miss the daily changing of the guard. The next place we will visit will help you to get even more inspired by the rich Swedish architecture and its long tradition. Skansen is the world's oldest open-air museum showing the whole Sweden with houses from every part of the country. It has 150 exhibits, many of which date back to the 18th century and earlier. Skansen is a place where history meets the present day, where Swedish traditions and craftsmanship live on. Glassblowers, craftsmen, blacksmiths do their craft in the museum right in front of tourists. In every building there are people in authentic dresses telling you about life in Sweden. Skansen is also the world's only open-air museum with wild animals. The next place to visit is especially interesting due to its unusual history and impressive massiveness. I am talking about the Vasa ship. The entire collection of the popular museum consists of just one sailing ship. The Swedish warship Vasa sank on its maiden voyage in 1628. It didn't even manage to leave Stockholm harbor. After being at the bottom of the sea for 333 years, it was raised. The Vasa is currently the best preserved 17th century ship in the world. The museum presents various thematic expositions that tell about the incredibly short voyage of the ship and its history. Sweden is known all over the world for its wonderful children's literature and its characters that both children and adults love. Therefore, our next place will be appreciated by people of any age. This museum is based on Astrid Lindgren's books. At Inmaken, children and adults have a chance to experience a fantasy world together. The main aim of the museum is to awaken children's desire to read, but both children and adults can enjoy the spectacular peculiarities of Villa Villicola, take a ride on Pippa's horse, or lie in her bed like I did. You can also peep through the window of the most charismatic man in the world in the prime of his life. The museum let children discover the magic that can be found between the pages of a book. The scientific achievements of the Swedes are known and used all over the world. These are ultrasound, Tetra Pak, a modern seat belt and even dynamite. The Nobel Prize established by Alfred Nobel, a famous Swede, is also well known. The Swedes love science and even dedicated a separate museum to it which is interesting for both children and adults. They tell us that science and technology are fun if someone explains them in the right way. Tomtit's experiment demonstrates experiments and encourages people to try out various fun activities with a scientific theme. A world without limits. Tomtit's experiment opens the door to a world where you can dive deep into a mixture of creativity and knowledge. Children and adults conduct scientific experiments, study achievements in technology and electronics. At the end, I would like to say that Sweden is a country where history and modernity surprisingly join. The Swedes love their country. They confidently move into the future without forgetting their past. That is why getting to know Sweden is so interesting and exciting. Thank you for being with me today on our wonderful tour to Stockholm. Goodbye.